Welcome to the Awaken on Purpose podcast, where each week you'll receive insight, inspiration, and advice for aligning your mind, body, and spirit to achieve a fulfilled life and live your purpose with me, your host, Jennifer Spohr. You'll also hear from other leaders who share their inspirational stories and wisdom in living fulfilled, on purpose, and making an impact. If you're a mission-driven leader and you're passionate about learning and integrating all the things that empower you to live and lead a fulfilled, purpose-led life, this is the show for you. Hey everybody, I am really excited to welcome as a guest to the show today, Gigi Sabbat. She is the CEO and founder of Life Service Center of America, LLC, a motivational keynote speaker, two-time best-selling author of the Walk With Me and God First books that have been endorsed by Les Brown and life coach and confidence coach. I read that wrong. Real life. Okay. She's also a first-generation Haitian American financial expert, Florida chapter leader for World Women Conference and Awards, the host of Walk With Me podcast on JRQTV, domestic violence advocate, sexual assault advocate, breast cancer advocate, human trafficking advocate, and mental health advocate. Welcome, Gigi.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today.
Thanks. I'm already off to a great start here. I love how diverse your background is, and I really can just feel, what a massive impact that you must be making in the world. I'd love for you to share with us just a little more about what inspired you to get into this work.
Yes. So almost 3 years ago now, so time flies, right? Almost 3 years ago, I almost lost my life, death by strangulation in a domestic violence relationship while in law school and while being the residential manager at the Human Development Center. And I just remember being so productive at the time. And I remember getting the shock of my life when I almost lost my life, death by strangulation. And so that really awakened me to step into my purpose and understand God's purpose for my life, which is to serve his people on this spiritual platform. And so that's what I did. I stepped into his purpose for my life, and I haven't looked back since. And I truly love what I'm doing in regards to the podcast, the Walk With Me podcast. And I launched my company, Life Service Center of America, which has two aspects. It has our motivational programs and courses that are taught by me. The second aspect is our business service navigator, which allows our members to locate the services they need in a reasonable manner. And I love it. And I also love motivating others and helping others to achieve their goals.
Yeah, I can tell. You can tell the passion for your work really, really shines through. You alluded to this, but has spirituality, has that always been front and center for you, or was there like a catalyst or a defining moment for you?
Yes, well, I read the Bible as a child and I got baptized as a child, but I did both things again as an adult after everything that occurred. I reread the Bible and then I got baptized again as an adult.
Awesome, great. Yeah, I find that I ask the question because I find that a large number of people, even though they may have a belief in a higher power, right, that there's typically some type of catalyst or maybe like a defining moment that really puts that front and center as more of a priority for them. I'm really passionate about this topic particularly because I feel like in large, although there's a higher level of awareness in the world and you can see the shift happening, but our spirituality is still something that isn't as mainstream as I believe that it should be, right? It's still something that's treated kind of separate from the landscape of the workplace and the professional world. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And we need to continue to educate others about that. Very important.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about your podcast.
Yes. So my podcast is all about helping others walk with purpose and understanding that no matter what trial or tribulation they face in their lives, they too can overcome. You're not what happens to you. You're not your circumstances. You're not your surroundings. There's so much more, and God has a purpose for your life. God has a purpose for your life, or your higher power, whatever you believe in, has a greater purpose for your life. And oftentimes it's right in front of you.
Yeah, that's so true. And so many people are conditioned to believe that it's like life is this thing that just happens to you, when we have, as humans, this amazing gift of free will, right? You know, in terms of the beliefs that we choose and the actions that we choose. And so we're actually really powerful creators. And I mean, and we're also made in God's image too.
That's right. That's right. Very important.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on just the general climate of what's going on in the world, especially this last year or two, and what impact can we each make as individuals?
Yes, essentially, with everything that's been going on with COVID, especially, I would tell you this: do not let COVID be the reason why you stop moving. No, let COVID be the reason why you continue to move forward. And you have to, when something like COVID happens, you have to find an alternative. A lot of folks don't like the word pivot. So then you replace it with a different word, which is the alternative. Find an alternative, and then keep working towards your goals. Don't give up, keep going. And so you ask, what can we do in our community? And that is by showing up and serving others. Continue to serve others. If you're a business owner, continue to show up and serve and help others achieve their goals. If you were hosting live events, in-person events, but then COVID happened, again, find that alternative. Start doing them virtually.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's always a way, right?
That's right. Always a way.
Yeah. And you know, someone may be listening wondering, you know, well, what can I offer, right? It's like everybody has a gift. And what I've often found is that many people feel like this gift that they have is something that is common sense to them. So they may not view it as something that they have to offer. But I always advise people to really look at, you know, what are your beliefs, what are your values, and what are you good at? And it's typically those combination of things that are part of your purpose.
That's right. That's right. And when you know what you're good at and you understand God's purpose for your life, just step into it and just keep going. Keep going. Oftentimes people let one thing that happens in their lives knock them down and keep them there. No, get back up and shift your mindset from a negative mindset to a positive mindset. But then you need to be able to maintain it. And that's what we call the resilient mindset, your ability to bounce back after a major trial or tribulation has occurred in your life.
Yeah. And that comes down to a big part of mindset is intention and choice. I mean, that's what I've found. Do you agree with that? It kind of starts with a decision. Yeah.
Yes, it is a decision. You because you have that thought that pops up in your mind. And at that moment, like Mel Robbins says, you have that 5-second window.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I also find that there's a big difference between hoping and knowing, having a knowingness. Hoping is great and hoping can inspire, right? But it can still also imply that whatever it is we desire or whatever it is we're aspiring to do may not happen. Having that sense of conviction or that knowingness that there is no other path, just the path, I've found is really key.
Absolutely. Yes, that's right. That's right. And oftentimes folks say, well, I don't know what's going to happen next, but that's where faith comes into place.
Totally. Yeah. Yes, definitely. What would be your number one piece of advice for someone who is looking to embody more of the higher path that they're meant to live?
I would say take time to self-reflect, get quiet.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's fantastic. Such fantastic advice. Meditation for me, implementing that as a practice was, I mean, really the gateway for transformation. And I say transformation, you know, and that implies change, but I really look at it as us remembering the essence of who we really are. It's like peeling back the layers, you know, that have held us back.
That's right. Very important. Meditation is also amazing. So get quiet, meditate.
Yeah. Yes. And I'd love to address, because a lot of people kind of don't address, the difficult parts of the journey as much, which, whoever says that the journey of transformation is easy, I mean, you can set the intention for it to be easy, but there are always going to be kind of little bumps in the road that come up. So what do you find holds a lot of people back on their growth journey?
I would say what holds a lot of people back is negative self-talk, where they say, oh, I can't do this. Or a lot of people I found, they have imposter syndrome, or they just say, I can't do it. But you can do it. You have to start talking to yourself in a positive manner. Mm-hmm. And once you start saying you have imposter syndrome, then you will have it. You have to remove those labels from you. Remove them because you are not the label or what somebody has called you. You're not that. And once you realize that, and then you start talking to yourself in a positive manner, there's nothing you can't overcome.
So true. So true. And sometimes I also find that deeper introspection is needed. So sometimes making a decision to, let's say, stop the negative self-talk works. But if someone finds themselves in a place where they're trying to do it and they're just not buying into it, what are your suggestions around how they can kind of dig deeper to interrupt the pattern?
Yeah, try starting off with positive affirmations. Start there. Start with positive affirmations. And once you start saying them to yourself, see how you feel, and then take the next step. So everything is a process.
Yeah, I've also found that sometimes there can be unhealed trauma or some type of pattern developed in childhood as a result of conditioning from, teachers or parents or our environment that sometimes needs to be processed and acknowledged, and that can also free us more, so to speak, in terms of our ability to change those patterns. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, absolutely. So you have to be cautious of your thoughts and where are you putting your focus, because where you put your focus, that's where your energy goes. So what are you truly focusing on? You have to be, what we call it, aware. Awareness truly matters.
Absolutely. And in closing, what is there anything else that you're feeling guided to bring forward to listeners?
Yes, I would just say maintain a resilient mindset. It's so important as leaders in your community. If you don't have that concept down, again, you may have a negative moment happen in your life or occurrence or challenge. And what happens is you cannot serve, you cannot lead. Why? Because at that point you would be serving from an empty cup. So you always have to make sure as a leader that your cup is filled first and foremost, because you cannot serve others if your cup is not filled. So going back to the whole rule, and definitely maintain a resilient mindset, bounce back quickly.
Yeah, so true. Which I feel guided to bring up something else in around what you brought up about the importance of filling your own cup first, is that so many of us have been conditioned to believe that that's selfish, right? And even when we're making decisions to make positive changes for ourselves and our path in life, there may be other people around us that aren't making those same decisions, right? Or that maybe aren't supporting us, that we feel should be supporting us on our path. What would be your advice for someone to manage that kind of dynamic?
I would say, remember that you're not alone, because what does John 1:9 say? Haven't I commanded you to be strong, courageous, do not be afraid or discouraged, for your Lord your God is with you wherever you go. He's with you wherever you go. You're not alone. Stay focused on your goals, because he would not have put it there in your heart, your mind, if it wasn't for a reason. And understand this, that if there was a delay or detour in your life, it happened for a reason. Keep going, keep moving forward, no matter what. There's a reason why for everything.
Yeah, so true. I believe that too, that nothing happens at random. Absolutely. And also, when we make the decision to honor ourselves, right, our authentic selves, then we start to attract more people into our lives that are like-minded.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Gigi, it's been awesome speaking to you and having you here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Thank you for listening to the Awaken on Purpose podcast. Please visit me and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or at awakenonpurpose.com so you never miss an episode. To learn more about how you can achieve a fulfilled life, live your purpose, and make an impact as a mission-driven leader, visit me at jenniferspore.com. And while you're there, be sure to join Awaken on Purpose, the community, to connect, collaborate, and grow in business and life with others who are like-minded.